In this video, we shall discuss about the British expansion under Lord Dalhousie. So, Dalhousie used a policy called the Doctrine of Lapse. The Lord Dalhousie, who was the Governor General from 1848 to 1856, devised a policy called the Doctrine of Lapse. Doctrine of Lapse declared that if an Indian ruler died without a male heir, his kingdom would be lapsed, that is, become a part of the company's territory. Many kingdoms were annexed simply by applying this doctrine. That means, if an Indian king died without a male son, that means his own son, not the adopted son. If he died without a male heir, the kingdom will be automatically annexed by the British East India Company. So by using this policy, the British annexed many kingdoms like Satara in 1848, Sambalpur in 1850, Udaipur in 1852, Nagpur in 1853 and Jhansi in 1854. Finally, in 1856, the company also took over Awadh. This time, the British said that they were obliged by duty to take over Awadh in order to free the people from the misgovernment of the Nawab. So the people of Awadh were ruled by a Nawab. He did some use of the power. So using this, the British took over the kingdom. Enraged by the humiliation, the people of Awadh joined the Great Revolt that broke out in 1857. We shall discuss about this revolt later. Let us discuss about the expansion of British territorial power in India with the help of these maps. So the yellow region represents the places captured by the British East India Company. The first India map portrays the Britishers when they entered into India for trade purpose in Calcutta. So this was taken in 1797. The second India map is the reference of 1840 when most of the south as well as the north was annexed by the British. The third one says about the territories of the British in 1857. Most of the territories in India was annexed by the British. So now let us discuss about the setting up of a new administration. British territories were divided into administrative units called presidencies. There were 3 presidencies. The first one is Bengal, Madras and Bombay. Since they captured more territories, they divided their administration as 3 presidencies. Each was ruled by a governor. For each presidency, a governor was appointed. The supreme head of the administration was the Governor General. So all these 3 governors has to obey the orders of the Governor General. Warren Hastings, the first Governor General, he was from 1773 to 1785. His period was from this time. From 1772, a new system of justice was established. Each district was to have 2 courts. The first one is a criminal court, that is Faujdari Adalat. The second one is the civil court, that is Diwani Adalat. So the Maulvis and Hindu Pandits interpreted Indian laws for the European district collectors who presided over the civil courts. The criminal courts were still under a Qazi. Qazi means he is the judge, and Mufti Okay, Mufti is the jurist who is responsible for the law that Qazi would administrate, but under the supervision of the collectors. Okay, so Qazi and Mufti will run the court under the supervision of the collectors. Okay, one problem was the Brahmin Pandits gave different interpretations of local laws based on Dharma Sastra. Dharma Sastra means some Sanskrit Sastras. To bring uniformity, in 1775, 11 Pandits were asked to compile a digest of Hindu laws. Okay, by 1778, a code of Muslim laws was also compiled for the benefit of European judges. Under the Regulating Act of 1773, a new Supreme Court was established and a Court of Appeal called the Sardar Nizamat Adalat was set up at Calcutta. The principal figure in the Indian district was the collector. Okay, so the collector has all the authorities. His office, the collectorate, become the new center of power. So this is the first collectorate. So what is the duty of the collector? As the title suggests, his main job was to collect revenue and taxes and maintain law and order of his district with the help of judges, police officers and daragos.